living longer, living healthier, living better than ever before. Welcome to Mountain Pacific's Healthy Living for Life, a weekly series that gives you the information, education, and expert insight you need to become an active participant in today's ever-changing healthcare climate. Here now is today's program host.
As our loved ones age, sometimes the best way to help them stay healthy is to find someone to assist with their care. Today, we will be exploring what this process looks like. Welcome to Healthy Living for Life, a show dedicated to helping you do just that. I'm your host, Lisa Sather. Today, we'll talk about finding a caregiver and what you should know before getting started. Stay tuned. Welcome back. This morning, we're talking with Ladon Whiteside, an AARP volunteer, and Deb McNally with the Area Agency on Aging. Thank you for joining us today, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
So, Debbie, let's start out with you. Could you tell us about what the Area 4 Agency on Aging is and your role with them?
Yes, the Area 4 Agency on Aging is a part of Rocky Mountain Development Council, and Rocky Mountain Development Council is a community action agency. It's a part of a network that is it's a nonprofit organization. And really, they were created to fight poverty and fight the war on poverty. And so we have programs like heating assistance, Head Start, senior services, all under this great umbrella. The Area Agency on Aging is one of many, we're part of an aging services network. And this is also nationwide. So the Aging Services Network is a great organization. It's tied to the Older Americans Act. And so we have several services under our agency. We provide funding as well as direct services. So some of our programs we fund include senior centers, the congregate meals and the Meals on Wheels going out of that agency, homemaking services, respite services, and transportation. So our direct services at Area 4 Agency on Aging includes Medicare counseling and our Aging Services Helpline. We receive those calls and under a program called Information Assistance and Referral. We have the Ombudsman program and several more.
Okay.
So my role is Outreach and Education Coordinator, and part of why I'm here today and what I'm doing. And I spent several years as a SHIP and INA counselor answering phone calls from the hotline about the topic that we're here to talk about today, finding caregivers.
Wonderful.
And so it's great.
Great. Anxious to hear more about that. Thank you. So, Ladon, you volunteer with AARP.
Yes.
And I'd like to hear a little bit more about your background and what your role as a volunteer is.
Well, like Debbie, I have done quite a few things that lead me to being an AARP volunteer and with you today. And one of those things that I did was working for the Regulatory Authority for Healthcare Facilities for a long time. And part of my role there was that I was the complaint and abuse coordinator. And so I heard a lot of things from people about not only facilities, but staffing issues and caregiver issues and things like that. And then I worked for the waiver program with the Community Services Bureau for a couple of years and learned more about what people need and want when they're living in their own homes and looking for caregivers. So when I retired from the state of Montana, I decided I wanted to open a mediation business. And part of what I do there is to work with people who are trying to resolve problems. So when I became a part of the AARP organization, they had this program called Prepare to Care. And so I volunteered to provide this Prepare to Care curriculum when people want to. And part of the curriculum covers creating a plan for caregivers in your own home.
Awesome. Well, let's get right into that. So we're going to talk about, finding a caregiver today, and why might someone decide to hire a caregiver for a loved one?
That's great questions to start with. And just to relieve the burden of the primary caregiver, relieve isolation, so more companionship.
Yes.
So those are great things. And part of our mission of Area 4 is to help people in their home and provide those home supports so they can remain independent in the community and have a great quality of life.
Great. So if someone decides they want to hire a caregiver, where should they start?
So I would start by asking questions and consider the type of caregiver you need. Full-time, part-time, do you need a live-in? Is it just companionship or friendly visitor or well-check calls? So there's a variety of caregivers out there. You know, do you need a home care aide, home health aide, or a little bit more medical, a certified nursing assistant or an RN? So really starting there will help you, once you get those few questions asked, that will get you pointed in the right direction.
And I think some of the things like Debbie had said, deciding what you need and then going out and finding it, essentially. Because a lot of caregivers, they do as much as they can, and they really work hard and they feel really committed because it's their loved one that they're taking care of. So when they realize that they need some help, part of it is to take care of their loved one, and part of it is to take care of themselves as a caregiver. So reaching out and saying in your head and verbalizing that to people about, I need help with this thing at this time of day or this time of week. I can do everything but this thing I need help with, and being specific in what you need, and then finding that either professional caregiver or friend and family that can help you with caregiving is really important.
Excellent. All right, so we're going to take a short break here for just a couple minutes, ladies, and then we'll be right back to get into a little bit more information. Stay tuned.